Well, I wanted to know what August had in store, and doesn't this give me an idea? And impressive, and frankly a little intimidating, in a good way. Lot of power here, a lot of good momentum. So we start with the Two of Swords, again using the Black Flame Tarot, which I really like because of its emphasis on transformation, self-awareness, which comes into play in this card here, the Two of Swords. I don't know how many sci-fi watchers I've got here with me, but you'll notice something familiar from a Stanley Kubrick film, a couple of his films, the monolith, or what looks an awful lot like the monolith from 2001, A Space Odyssey. The entity, technology, being, thing that catapulted the pre-human primates into awareness and progress. Some of us might call this the gift of Set, but we could compare this also to the fire provided by Prometheus, who we tend to celebrate in the West, or his Semitic counterpart, Lucifer, the bearer of light, who for some reason gets a bit of a bad rap in our neck of the woods. I'd also like to draw attention to this blue rose, which, as many of us know, we don't find in nature. And I find that significant in this card because we have a potential to go beyond ourselves and beyond what we've acquired from our natural state. With the awareness, the gift of Set, or the black flame, we can go well beyond what we think we can, and I find that very encouraging and very inspiring. So next up, one of the two majors in today's reading, and I should say this month's reading, Justice, which sounds really good to start with. We don't always see a lot of justice, and hopefully we can get some of that in a very real ideological sense. But in our individual life, I just want to draw attention to something on this picture here. The flames, also sort of blackish, or dark flames, which I think refers nicely to that beyond nature rose there, the black flame. And through that black flame of conscious individual awareness, Justice here reminds me of a phoenix rising from her ashes to become something more, again, something greater than herself in the present. So I see this as a very transformative indication for what will come in the month of August. I think this can refer also to what we've already done individually to grow and transform and to make ourselves ready for what will come in the next few weeks, whatever that'll involve. I'd also like to draw attention to the numerological value of Justice. The Black Flame Tarot does stick with the 8 for Justice. So I find that significant as well. We find this as a cornerstone. If we think of the 4 as a stable 4-point object, think of a house. We don't see many houses built on 2 or 3-point foundations. Usually we've got a nice square or rectangle basis, something stable and not easily knocked over. We take that 4 and we add a second dimension. We add another dimension to it, a third dimension, and we gain even more stability. So I would say that this indicates we'll use some of what we already have as we go on to build ourselves further into a new and better self. And finally, the Lovers, a card of choice and options presented to us. I don't know exactly what options we'll have to look at in the next few weeks. Perhaps a new job will come along. Perhaps a new love or relationship will come along. But we also may have to look at parting ways with certain things. You see these two roads here. Depends on our perspective. Do they join together, or have they begun to separate and go their individual ways? Whatever the circumstance involves, whatever the question comes down to, I like to think of this little burst of light, this glimpse of awareness, as maybe one of those gut feelings that we often reference, but sometimes don't want to pay as much attention to as we should. Whatever this choice involves, pay attention to your gut. You may already know what you need to do in order to tie this new thing, this new circumstance, into the greater overall picture, the greater overall change and growth that August can bring. But remember, the most important and most quality change comes with your involvement. So engage with it, interact with it, and in so doing, you can become a more decided and active participant, and use that change as a catapult and as momentum for your directed, willful progress.